Welcome to Virtual Coffee with Dawn Rickabaugh, the Note Queen, where we talk about owner financing and notes. Financial solutions, one mom and pop to another.
Just wanted to bring up the Property and Paper Summit that we're getting ready to start broadcasting. I think next week, didn't we say, Axel? We're going to start sending out. Here's the website, live events, Property and Paper Summit. So once a year, I do a live it's 2.5 days this year. We're adding a half day up at the front for kind of the beginner people, so that we get some concepts and vocabulary down before, Monday and Tuesday, flies pretty fast with number crunching and things. So I'm always super, super happy and excited to do this. I really am blown away by the people that are coming to join us this year too. This is our third year. Mike Rosica is coming from the East Coast. He's going to be phenomenal, talking about non-performing notes, I think mainly seconds, non-performing seconds behind performing firsts. He's doing phenomenally well with that. Institutional paper. Gordon Moss is going to be coming. That was a total surprise, so that's really fun. This guy is a phenomenal educator and has been in the business for a long time. He's the real deal. So he's coming. I've got Tom Henderson. He is adorable. He is freaking adorable. I love this guy. He's one of the old, when I was kicking the tires of the note business, he was, in that kind of the last of that breed, kind of a dying breed, just salt of the earth, good guy from Texas that's going to be joining us for a couple of the days. I've got Sherry Hill. She's the one that Rich Dad Poor Dad was talking about in his book. And Abby Shemish, he's like, he knows the broker side of notes inside and out. And then a guy who's just here local, one of my amazing community members or my team building here locally in Carson City, Reno, Tahoe area, David Kurtzman. He's been a real estate broker and an investor in both real estate and notes for years and years. So he is a really rich resource and dear friend and financial friends. We've closed a couple of deals together just in the last month or two, I think. So with much more to come, I am sure. So anyway, feel free to check that out. It's only $379 for 2.5 days, but it's right on the lake, South Lake Tahoe. Gorgeous place. I mean, of course it won't be swimming weather, but it is gorgeous. So anyway, there's only room for, I think I without even really advertising, except for on these calls, I haven't sent any emails out yet at all. I think I have maybe 30 more seats, maybe 28 to 30 more seats I can sell. So anyway, if you're thinking of coming, grab it sooner than later. So, all right.
You've been listening to Virtual Coffee with Dawn Rickabaugh. For more, please visit notequeen.com.
So any other people who want to add to this list, but what makes a good note? If you're going to create a note and pop out this little baby, if you're doing owner financing, you're pregnant with a note. It just hasn't come out yet. If you're thinking about doing owner financing, you're pregnant. Do you feel it kicking around in there? Okay, well, talk to someone who will possibly buy the note before you give birth to it, before there's a wet ink signature on your documents. Then when you give birth, you have a good little note baby who's healthy and happy and doesn't have colic. Okay, really, it's about the security, yes? If it has to be secured by something that someone actually would want. If they have to foreclose on it, they want to know that they're happy to own it. They hope they don't have to, but they want to be happy if they would. So it has to be, it's nice to have a clean little note. You have, I'm not saying I buy all clean stuff, but just typically, I'm just giving you the foundational things for the note business. A great property that appraises for as much or more than it sold for. You can get a premium when you're doing owner carry, yes, you can, but if you're going to sell the paper, it's actually better if the owner, if it looks like on paper that they have equity, that you didn't go crazy on that. right? Because someone who thinks they have equity has a lot more emotional attachment to their property. Or if they get in trouble, it's nice to leave some room so that they can sell it and get out, you know? It's not our business to take care of everybody, but it's just what I like. Large down payment, hard equity, meaning hard-earned cash out of their pocket. Not a gift from the government, not a gift from somebody, something they worked hard for. Typically, owner financing is acceptable 10% down. That's still light, but that's the standard in the industry, at least 10% or more. If it's an investment, non-owner occupied, 20% or more. Although sometimes the investor paper is safer than the owner carry paper because the property pays the loan, not their job, right? Good credit or no credit. Sometimes, I already told you, some of my favorite borrowers don't have a credit score, and I don't care. But good credit, and Abby would attest to this if he was in here, right? I mean, the bigger, larger institutional buyers of paper need good credit, or they just simply doesn't matter how good the deal is, they're not going to take it down. Seasoning. You can't over-season a note. You know, like you can put salt and pepper and you make your food bad. You can't do that with a note. So seasoning means the payments have come in for a long time. And is it a good payment history? Are they always 30 days late? Are they 60 days late? Or are they on time every month? Makes a big difference. You want the highest interest rate or face rate on the note that the borrower will accept, agrees to, and can afford. And that's where the Dodd-Frank and ability to pay guidelines, even for owner carry, came in, because they want to make sure that you're setting up, especially, and mainly only in most states, homeowners. You want to make sure that you're setting them up for success, right? You're not going to do anything that just makes it very likely that they will default and lose their home. So I started with what can they afford, and I reverse engineer to what I can do with that deal. Okay. A shorter term, more money sooner is typically better. Just in general, doesn't mean all the time, but I like a shorter term can be better, or an amortization schedule, but not too short. If it's fully amortized, if it's too short, even if the calculator might say I have a 15% yield buying that, it's only $10,000 extra in my pocket if the amortization's too short. Like one time someone wanted to sell me, had 3 years left, and they only wanted to take a 10% discount, and then I would have tied up like $90,000 and made $4,000 in profit over that 3 years. Didn't make any sense, right? So anyway, short term, more money back sooner for the investor. And I like a balloon if it's allowed, which sometimes it's not, but by someone who is likely to be able to pay it off. And Steve will say that he thinks balloons are baloney. He buys the note as if the balloon's not even there. So he has to buy as if it's going to have to run out a longer time. So if you want to, I like balloons because it's an option to renegotiate the terms at that point. I like to already have a default rate figured in there. I want to know if they go into default, and I'm heading toward trustee sale, I want to know that I'm getting paid, because I'm having to deal with the note and I have more expenses and more grief. So I want a default rate that's higher, already pre-negotiated in there. And I also like pre-negotiated modification. If we're going to go past this date, you're going to pay me this much of the 2 points of the 1%, 3% of the unpaid principal balance as an extension fee. I already have that in there, and so then you don't even have to work that out, right? I like that. And then I like buying notes or in where there's favorable foreclosure laws, and I like title insurance. And a licensed servicer who impounds for taxes insurance is a lot of times nice. It's not always necessary. I like having a servicer is a good thing. And I like a due on clause and a late payment provision. Anything?